Hey guys, so good to see y'all. Our reading for today is Joshua 3 through 6, and I know the chapter and verse I'm about to read might be a little bit uncomfortable and strange on why I picked this, but let's read it anyways. It's chapter 5, verse 2, and here's what it says. It says, "And at that time the Lord said to Joshua, make flint knives and circumcise the Israelites again." Okay, yes, we're going to talk about circumcision. And then in verse 3 it says, "So Joshua, he made flint knives and circumcised the sons of Israel at Gibeath Haraloth." I'm not exactly sure how to say that, but that place literally means the hill of the foreskins, okay? I know that sounds disgusting, but hang with me. So apparently, the reason why they're doing this a second time is because all throughout the wilderness generation, all throughout the 40 years of waiting in the wilderness, none of the next generation born during that time had been circumcised. And so God is commanding this a second time. And so a few things to point out. If this is the second time, do you guys remember when the first time was? It was in Genesis 17 when God spoke to Abraham. Okay, basically God told Abraham, I'm going to make you into a great nation with multiple descendants. And I remember, if you guys remember this, Abraham had a hard time understanding this. He's like, well, Sarah, she can't even bear a child because she's so old. And upon hearing this, if you remember, Abraham was laughing. He thinks God is crazy. But once he thinks God is serious, what does God call him to do? He calls him to circumcise every male in the household. So think about this. Abraham, he doesn't even think that they're going to have multiple descendants due to Sarah's inability to have a child. But on top of that, even if she can have a child, you're going to ask me, right, to cut off the very organ that actually creates multiple descendants. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, Brian, where are you going with this? Okay, so here's the point. The point is that obedience, it's costly. Abraham, he didn't even know the effects of what circumcision would do. However, though they did not understand, they were obedient even though it was costly and even though it didn't make any sense. You see, in the same way, Abraham was on the path to the promise. Anytime you're on the path to a promise, there's often a cutting off that is required. And I know that sounds, weird or disgusting, but it's not necessarily physically cutting off, but it's really a cutting off of that which you believe is critical in order to get you from where you are to the promise. I think about, for me personally, all my life I've always prided myself on my work ethic and my gifts and my ability to strategize, all those things. However, a few years ago when God gripped our hearts for revival and to see a massive acceleration of the kingdom of God, he began to uproot all those things that I deemed as necessary to get from here to there. And so really quick, let's go back to that story. Here are the Israelites. They just crossed the Jordan. Not only are they reminded of this powerful consecration to God, but they are staying. All right? I don't know if you guys caught this. They're staying in a place in order to heal that is right in front of the Jericho walls. I mean, that is suicidal. In fact, they've seen this before. In Genesis 34, an entire city was attacked and killed while they were healing from circumcision because they couldn't fight. And so, long story short, why are they getting circumcised? Why are they choosing to heal in the worst possible location? Because God said to. And they were to obey and trust no matter the cost. And so here's the point. Wherever and however God leads, it'll many times not make any sense, and it'll many times require a cutting off of how you believed you would originally get there. And so as we close, here's my encouragement to you guys: to obey no matter the cost, no matter if it's counterintuitive, and especially if there is seemingly a cutting off of what seems to be critical in order to get you from here to there. Put your faith in him, not in your circumstance. And I hope you guys have a great Tuesday. Bye-bye.